about Louise. Difficult scenario that could be faced by comms leaders, or if you're in marketing and you've got an expert in front of you, and you as someone who needs to translate that into something that's more palatable, whether it's for comms or maybe for marketing. It's thinking this is not going to land with people, and we say that it's not necessarily a communication failure. It's almost fear on the part of the expert, because your job is to go, okay, I understand that, and you've got to try and earn their trust to say, okay, we understand what you're saying, but we need to move on this. And their fear is very real, isn't it?
What we're talking about here, before we even get to the topic, before we even get to a campaign or putting information out for comms purposes, you're talking about something here, and I'm going to use a word. Well, there's two words I'm going to use, not naughty ones, may I add. Ego and trust are the two.
Yes.
Now, the reason why I say ego, it's not in a negative sense, but here you have someone who may have lots of credentials, qualifications, and really great credibility in their field and industry. So they know their stuff, and they know that, and they want to maybe impress or impart a certain number of knowledge and pieces of information to everyone else. And as comms experts, we are in the position where we are trying to, dare I say, massage their ego and say that, yes, we know that you know all your stuff, and we have to listen and make sure that we entertain it, but we then also have to build their trust. In my first briefing with her about a really important adult social care story, it wasn't even about the story at first. It was about me kind of playing to her ego a bit in the kindest way, but also about me earning her trust. Because the reason why trust is so important, we are trying to say to this expert that we know that they know their stuff, but they have to trust us to share it in a way that's meaningful and impactful. Have your organisation or the business's best interests at heart, and you have to trust me to make the most wise and informed decisions to get the information out there. And it may be in a way that they don't recognise, it may be in a way that they're not used to before, they don't know you, they don't know what you're going to do, and that trust is so vital. Again, I think I've said it already, but to repeat, these are people who they've probably spent X amount of years studying and devoting their time and energies and money and resources to be an expert in this field and this industry. And then, we walk in and go, right, we're going to change that. And you're like, you can understand it. I think if we reflect back on this whole conversation, we've talked about the mindset, we've talked about ego, we've talked about trust.